What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the edition of Vicktory Life Legacy Spotlight. I'm your host, owner, and founder of Vicktory Life, Dwight Vick. And today I'm joined by another great coach. Varina High School head football coach Marcus Lewis joins the show. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm great, man. I'm getting over this cold, so if I cough a few times for those watching and listening, know that I'm not spreading any germs. I'm virtual, but I'm getting better. But Coach, I know you're very busy. This is a big time of the year. You guys kick it off next week, and shout out to our guy Lee for making this happen. I've been trying to get you on, and he was like, "Oh, say less, I got you," and he linked us up. I've seen you on his lives before. I've seen you on the sidelines, you and your staff. So, as I told you before we recorded this and we were setting this up, I'm a big fan of Varina. I have a lot of respect for Varina, football and basketball. Been following the program for a long time. Just a guy that's a big fan of VHSL high school football, and I love what you guys are doing there. Saw you last year in the States. We're going to talk about that here in a second, but let's talk about you. You and I were talking, because I always want to get into the coach, because people see you, the headset, and they see you giving orders and building a program and getting guys to the next level. But you also were once a very good athlete. You played football and basketball. Let everybody know, man, a little bit about your background and how you got going and who you were in the 804.
Born and raised Richmond. Grew up in Varina my whole life. I was a three-sport athlete. Played football, basketball, and baseball. My dad made me give up his sport when I was younger. Baseball was the most boring sport, even though I was good. So I gave that up. Ended up playing football and basketball here at Varina. Played in two state championships with my sophomore and junior season. Senior season, we lost a game before the state championship to Centerville. Basketball made it to the states as well. Was player of the year, defense. What is that? I forgot what year. All Metro. Junior and senior season. I was all district sophomore season. So yeah. And
Go ahead.
Ended up going to school. Played at I went to Fort Union post grad. Man, I could not get the SAT, man. So I played with Daryl Blackstock and Gaines Adams and Cook that played at Heritage and Choo Choo that played at Heritage. Ended up going to Shepherd. I was transferring over to Virginia Tech. I was about to go there with my cousins J. Lou and Kevin. I ended up having a daughter. My following year after high school with my wife, which was my girlfriend at the time. So I ended up coming to Union, played 1 year, went to the championship, ended up being an entrepreneur, ended up starting a mental health company and getting into real estate investment. Started coaching. Was coaching AAU basketball and football at Varina Rec. Ended up 2008. Ended up start coaching high school football. Stu Brown, which was my old high school coach, got a job here at Varina. Started coaching the linebackers. I think 2015, I ended up becoming the defensive coordinator, and then 2020 COVID year became the head coach.
Yeah, I was interrupting you because you just sneezed at I was player of the year. Yeah, da. Like, dude, yeah, don't. And listen, first of all men player of the year. First, I don't even know how you were able to get any sleep and get any work done. 3-sport athlete, man, that's insane. I knew you hooped and played football. I mean, when you're in VA, it's a big but small state. You know who the ballers are. So I had heard of you. Shout out to the Lewis brothers, too. You got a great sports family. You might need to do a feature on that because they were some dogs at Virginia Tech. 804, man, has produced a lot of talented players. Being a 757 guy, 757, they're very brash and open about how they dominate everything. But I always told people, especially going to Virginia Tech and traveling and playing arena football, pro ball like myself, I meet some guys from all over, especially the 804, and there was always an instant connection, very similar mindsets. And the talent in the 804 is insane. From basketball to track to football. Talk about the culture you played in. You talk about you coach AAU and you've been around it. But just talk about, so much is made about the 757 and other parts of Virginia, but the 804 is very competitive. What was it like growing up with all the household names and everybody being around there?
It was great. So my older brother played, so I always been around football. We 9 years apart, so he played at Varina too. Played center, Carlos Lewis. My dad went to Varina, played sports, coached me my whole life in every sport that I played, and my brother ended up taking over coaching me. My new OC that's here now, he coached me my junior season in rec football. But man, it's always been a rich tradition here at Varina. I can speak on Varina. As far as this, coming over here watching them play. I knew all the guys before me. Now the younger guys don't know who came before them. Just grew up and wanted to put that gold helmet on, and that's why I went back to gold helmets this year, just trying to get that tradition and how these kids understand how rich it is and who came through here. Like every week now, I have them. I may say, "Hey, I need y'all to look up this person, what they doing, what they did when they was here, so they can know." We gotta. I mean, just from Ron alone, and I would say Hollis Springs too, just because you're on the same side. It's a lot of talent that came through here on this side of town, just 804 as a whole. So I'm just trying to, introduce our younger guys, like who actually came through here. Why it's important when you put this helmet on, and what it represent. I mean, it was nothing like coming out there after Friday night game, we win, going out there Saturday to the rec fields. You won, you got your school, got your gear on and all that, man, and everybody kind of praised you and just looking forward to who we got next week, man. And losing them 2 state championships, man, it's a gift and a curse. It was a blessing to where I was able to become a head coach and end up winning our first one. When I was the last time we went was when I played. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't even understand that, man. And then I lost my grandma. My grandma, my mom was the women in our family is diehard sports, football. My mom got all the time, so we ended up winning the state championship on her birthday. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah.
just a year alone, it was just amazing. You know what I'm saying? But man, the tradition here is super rich, man. On my staff now, I got J. Lou, D-line coach that played at Tech, All American.
Yes.
I got Andre Branch, who DN coach that played at Clemson, that
Clemson.
played for 9 years. I got Tim Harris that played at UVA, played in the league. Justin Thorpe, quarterback at JMU. To have all these guys.
Yo, bro.
Oh yeah. Like it was funny. I was reading a comment on Facebook. Rhonda got 20 coaches. You damn right we got 20 coaches. When I get these guys to come back and come and coach and give them, just to give them the history on being here and what it means. And these guys play so much football. Of course, I'm gonna get them to come back. And it's way more coaches that I didn't name that played in the NFL that's coming back and coaching, that played college ball, that's entrepreneurs. It's bigger than football here for me. Like I said, I stopped playing football in college because I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and that's what I did. And having some kids, so we putting that into our kids. Football, you only can play this but so long. I mean, you retired now, 30 years old. So what are you doing these next years? So we're trying to get in our kids' mindset now. So all right, what's the end goal and how can we start now? How can we brand ourselves? How can we get in these rooms now with these collectives to say, hey, I'm bigger than just playing football. I want to sit at the table with the CEOs and stuff like that. So man, we just trying to just get our kids on a whole different path, man.
Yeah, listen, let me just say this, and I'm not saying this just because you won. Anybody that follows the Vicktory Life movement and knows me, I'm very passionate about what you just described. So I'm a licensed mental health therapist here in Northern Virginia, DMV area. And even when I was at Tech in the 90s in my heyday, in my prime, trying to get to the league, I knew that I was going to do what I'm doing now. And I get so much pride and joy of helping kids achieve their academic and athletic goals. But more importantly, I'm an entrepreneur. Vicktory Life is my practice. I also have Vicktory Life Youth Sports, which was my 501c3. And I try to tell a lot of times on those same Facebook groups you're on, I tell coaches, I say, hey, man, I love the fact that you're flashing all your rings. You talk about this team and we got all this popping. Please help these kids understand that most of them are not going to be that guy at the next level. Many of them are not going there. Celebrate them, help them get to the post office or to the military or interviews, or help them understand they can start their own barbershop. I'm glad you're an entrepreneur, because college is not the only way to get a gift or a brand or a business. And I'm not taking shots, because I tell people directly how I feel. I feel like some of these high school coaches are losing sight of that. And we put so much emphasis on winning the state championship. That's great, but that's only one chapter, if you're even blessed to get there. My son played basketball at Patriot, and his junior and senior year, he lost the state championship both times, one to the great Hayfield team, and then they won back-to-back, and then the following year they lost to South Lakes in a rematch. But my son is now in college on a full scholarship. And then I talk to him all the time. What are you going to do? You're going to be a GM? you're going to be a coach. Think about your transitional plan. So I wanted to make sure I really emphasize that and praise you and your staff for doing that. Because, a lot of these guys, I know I saw on TikTok and on Instagram, you guys put a lot of guys about 5 or 6 guys in college last year, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Scholarship.
I think people just see the Division I kids,
Yeah.
but we have kids that don't even touch the field that go to school to play football. I
Mm.
mean, average probably, I would say at least for most of our kids that want to go to school, they go to school for football, for
Mm-hmm.
sports.
Mm-hmm.
So it's never been a problem with that. I just think we get caught up in all the heights and this the fame as far as this kid went Division I, man. It's about getting these kids a free education at the end of the day. When I tell these parents that come here, if your kid want to go to school and want to go to school for free, we're gonna try our best to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's village. You got to do your part. He got to do his part, and we're gonna do our part. But I mean, I was probably about 10 to 12 last year.
Yeah.
Everybody decided that hey, they want to go. They went. I mean, we already got some guys that verbally committed already early, probably like 5 or 6, and it's more to come. I get more kick out of the entrepreneurship, understanding credit. You get what I'm saying? Because that
I
stuff,
do.
it's gonna live with them for the rest of their life. Yeah, we're gonna remember these moments walking out here and winning the state championship or these practices and all that stuff, man. But I want to set my kids up to be men and be able to take care of their families at the end of the day. When
Mm.
I went to college, I was the first person in my family. I didn't know what I was gonna major in. I just
Mm.
did business because I'm like, man, you know what? I can go get a job anywhere. You know what I mean? I didn't really have a plan. I just knew sports was go be my way to get there. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, I know a whole lot more now. I'm in the mental health field. I own a mental health company. I've been doing that since 2008. I started it in college. I started working at a group home. Then I started working at intensive. I was doing intensive at home with Dominion Day, and that was one of the big
Wow.
companies. Yeah, it was one of the biggest companies. And I came home to my wife. I'm like, everybody that worked there look like me, but the owners don't look like me. And we and
Uh-oh.
we and we serving my community. It don't make sense to me. And then I came home and got with some other guys, man. They ended up starting the company. To where now it's been running for a while. I'm getting into more of the group home setting because I always love group home. I got some things going on in other states, and it ain't about the money for me. It's about helping the community. The money will come in anything you do, and if I could coach football in Virginia the rest of my life, I would. But financially, I got to do other things because we don't make no money doing it. But
Yeah, that's another episode. You
yeah,
guys, I just said it. Y'all don't get paid enough.
nah,
Sorry,
man. And
that's just
listen,
something.
what we doing to change our communities and what we put into these kids, and I spend more time with these kids than I do my own family at times, is ridiculous. But when I get these text messages, Coach, I'm married, I bought my house, I got a business, I got a clothing line, and they doing well, that brings me joy. You get what I'm saying? Because
Absolutely.
I was that same kid, and these kids know, man, you can call me anytime. It ain't gotta be about football.
Yeah.
So it's about life, what's going on. Bring the kid over here, man. Come back. Talk to the players. Let them know your journey, whether it's good or bad. You know what I mean. Everybody ain't gonna come through as
Mm.
successful, and they all go through some things in life or whatever the case may be, man. But I get more joy with that, man. We got financial literacy people coming in speaking to our kids about stocks and investment. And I try to get our parents to understand, man. And a lot of them do. But if we start teaching them the mindset of investing now and saving now, they're gonna be wealthy. So now, even with the collectives and our kids, signing these deals, hey, percentages going to investments. Yeah, let's get life insurance. Let's make sure we get life insurance on our parents. What else we doing? Let's understand that hey, if you can get paid in the LLC or S corp, they'll help out with some taxes. So just trying to get these kids game, man. And like I told them, man, you go to school for 4 years, 5 years, and you making this type of money. It ain't NFL ain't guaranteed. But if you save and invest now, when you finish and graduate college, man, you gonna be well off. With us, we want to see the dollar now opposed to down the line, compound interest. So, we with our kids, man, we talk about that. Of course, we talk about football, we watching film and we going through all that stuff. But at the same time, I got to empower them that's way beyond just being, an athlete.
Hey, listen. I'm gonna have you back on, and we're gonna link up because I just was down in Chesterfield early this year. They did the mental health symposium, like a mental health wellness day, and I was there. And I met so many people like you that were passionate, and I believe in the village theory. I believe it takes a village, and I believe you're part of the village. I'm part of it, and
Yeah.
I can't commend you enough. I had no idea you were doing this. I'm surprised we never crossed paths at a training or a
When
workshop or
you said
something.
it, I'm thinking like once we get off, we definitely go. We will have to talk,
Yeah,
man. And I can
yeah,
let you know what's going on. I'm big on this us partner up and just networking with
yeah,
each other. Man. I think we gonna do
absolutely.
enough. And I was about to go on too, man. I ended up starting a nonprofit. Abbreviation is Hustle, but it's
Hmm.
really helping student athletes, not just
Yeah.
football. Plus, we starting with Varina because this one I met. But like we're teaching our kids branding, NIL. We're creating our own
Oh,
NILs.
just love it.
We got shirts and they got their names. Everything they sell, they get a percentage back. You ain't gotta go out there.
Oh,
You gotta be on here on this corner. You ain't gotta be do none of that. Let's teach you the right way to how to grind, and then we just go get you game, man. And that's what we doing. And we got a lot of merch that's coming out. People like, man, you doing this? I'm like, I'm trying to get back, but I'm also trying to see how can I stay where I'm at now, so where I can continue to take care of my family as well.
hey,
So
this is such a powerful message. Listen, man, I rarely get overwhelmed when I'm doing the episode. I'm the host and the facilitated discussion, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'm really excited about this. And I'm definitely going to be watching the growth of that and supporting it in every aspect I can on my platform and spreading the word up here in Northern Virginia. And even when I get back home or even in 804, I really commend you and your guys for doing that. With that being said, Coach, you are a football coach. And last year, you guys lost to Phoebus. A game where some people had picked y'all to win. Phoebus ended up winning their fourth straight title. A lot of mishaps in that game. I'm going to ask
for
you a
sure.
tough question. What did you learn? Because a lot of times as a coach, we learn all the time in wins and losses. People don't realize that. What did you
Yep.
learn about that game? And not just that game, because it's not just one game. A season is a course of games. What did you learn about last season, including that loss?
Man, the next man always has to be ready and be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like as a staff we did a great job with our second and third string quarterback. So when our quarterback went down, it took the life out of us. You can see it. Of course, we over there motivating, and then our second string quarterback came late, came in August. Um, so I think earlier part of the season he played a lot. At some point he stopped getting less reps. We should have kept him getting the same type of reps and I told him, listen, I don't know if I called him or I told him when I seen him at practice. I said, look, man, in my dream, you go get your chance in the state championship. And he looked at me like I was crazy. I don't know what it was. And it happened. Now, of course, too, they our line at times didn't hold up at
Mm-hmm.
times. So we put him in situation. And then I think going back looking at the game, I felt like we should have did more jets. We should have started running sideways because they had their two best D linemen was playing both sides of the ball. Now you get them running, and we had success. Like one of the Jets to number one, man. If our backside wide receiver would have got to the safety, it was a touchdown. So emphasizing the little things to where our kids don't understand these little things can separate. Because a team like us or them, that same play you ain't gonna get again. So you got to make sure that you execute that first time. As far as getting
Mm-hmm.
to that safety, so you can make the play before we could score. But outside of that, man, just it's the little things. We had two more punts after that to where put them in good field position. For me, man, I'm going to any game making a team. They got to drive the football. I'm the D coordinator too. So my thing is too. Let's make people drive the football on us. A lot of people can't do that. A lot of people want to take big hits and big plays, and if you eliminate that, you got a great chance of winning any football game that you're playing. But
Facts.
we gave them short field position, and we gave up that bomb. It was a mixed coverage. I, I didn't want to call the coverage. I called it because my cornerback coach beside me, and it was a great call. If the strong safety did what he's supposed to do and got over top of number one, we was in a cloud
Mm-hmm.
look. It was perfect. And when we saw, we thought that he knew what was going on, and he never got over. And I was like, oh my goodness, what young sophomore? We had two sophomores back there. Um, you just can't have those type of mistakes in those big ball games. But hey, I mean, hats off to Coach Button, man. What they doing to even win 4-2 or one, back to back is crazy, and it's just nothing but respect. I know I see a lot of stuff and people's running their mouth and all that, man. At the end of the day, man, it's football. People go run their mouth and all that stuff, man. But it's nothing. Anybody that's coaching high school football gets I take my hat off to them because I know what it takes and I know how much time you put into it, especially when you're a winning program.
You damn
So
right.
it's nothing but respect for
Hey,
those guys.
you know what? Let me just say this too. Thank you for saying that because I'm a Hampton High crabber when I was playing. I mean, now I'm just a father, a husband, a content creator, a podcaster, a therapist. But with that being said, I have no vitriol towards Phoebus, even though when I was growing up and even now, they were our nemesis, them and Bethel, right? But I'm glad you said that because I feel like, man, you have to respect champions and you have to respect championship level coaches like yourself and Coach Blunt. But it's the gift and the curse. And I talked to our mutual friend Lee about this while in the VA podcast is that with all the platforms like this and all the Facebook groups and Instagram chats and Twitter, you have more people who aren't even really representing the program. They're fans. They're the ones chirping. And
Yes.
I gotta say it. It always makes Lee laugh. I'm like, yo, dads can't put on pads. So the guys talking, they ain't playing. It's just a different time. I have to adjust to it, even though I use social media
Yeah.
as my gift, and
Yeah.
social media benefits me a lot. I do sometimes. I get on Facebook in between sessions, and I'll be looking. And I'll be like, who is these people? What is this? What is
Listen,
this? Man?
a lot of the people that's on there that's talking didn't do it. So they're living,
No,
so they're living through these kids, and
no.
I kind of laugh at it. Sometimes I need it though. Sometimes I read it to it give me that. Let me go ahead and get in my bag. Let me go
Yep,
ahead and I pour it into my kids opposed to social media. You know what I
yep,
mean? And I get it, man. I just won't never a big talker. Even when I play linebacker, strong safety, I'm gonna talk on that field though, and you will hear me.
yeah,
You will, and you know the same way I coach. I ain't about to be chirping or running my mouth or none of that. You know, let's just be respectful at the end of the day.
yeah.
I know I seen some of that stuff saying Varina, we was doing this and that. No, we didn't. Now at the same time, I mean, we ain't no chumps. So of course, if somebody will run their mouth, our kids run their mouth. But if I see it, I'm gonna like, look, man, get your ass on this sideline. We will be quiet, and you know, you got to play with these pads and not with your mouth. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So it was just, you know, things like that. I just think it's funny at the end of the day.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny. It's funny. And it is just football. I think sometimes forget that because you and I, and along with Blunt and other coaches, want to see these kids win. Not just the game, but the game of life,
Right.
which is what you and your staff are doing it. Coach, you mentioned earlier a program down the street from y'all, Highland Springs. Lauren Johnson has been a longtime brother to me since 1995, 94, when he came to Virginia Tech. Big fan of him and Harry Lee and what they've done over there. You and him have similar mindsets as far as helping kids not just get to the next level for playing, but just that those life skills, the mental health balance, the work-life balance we all need as Black men or even white men to be successful. When you talk about the Holland Springs Varina battles, every year, I love the fact you guys are in two different divisions, but you still
Yeah.
make sure that game happens. Well, y'all in the same district, right?
Yeah, they don't, they don't even
Yeah.
have this. But yeah,
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. That's why I said I had to clarify. But y'all still make that game happen. What does that game mean to the Richmond area, the 804, and just what do you enjoy about that rivalry? Because believe me, I'm up here an hour and a half away, but when y'all play, I'm either there or I'm watching online. Trust me, I am watching because athlete for athlete, program, the coaches, the staffs, both y'all have similar staffs. It is must-see TV. To me, it's right there, top 5 rivalry in the state. And this is
I think
Virginia
so.
now. Now,
Yes.
but this me as a fan, an observer. What are your thoughts as a coach and a former player when you get into that game?
I mean, I always stay in focus for one, but it's huge. It's huge for just the East and alone, the state of Virginia. As far as just, man, it's one of them games, 4 quarters. No matter who got what, if they got big names or no big names, it's just normally one of those games to where it's just it can go either way. You know what I mean? Nothing but respect to those guys as well and what they doing to win 5. I mean, is crazy. They always had talent. You know what I mean? Even when I played, they was good. So it's been those. I think it's hyper now. Just the past since I left, because it's been kind of back and forth. Of course, they probably got more, or whatever the case may be. But I mean, it's just big for our whole area, man. The guys they grow up playing with each other on the same teams or against each other,
Mm-hmm.
so it means a lot. I don't know as far as when it comes to the younger kids coming up, if they looking at it on where they go, or I'm gonna come to Rhode, I'm gonna go to Holland Springs. Really don't know that. But I mean, it really shuts down the whole area, and it's packed every year, whether it's on
Every
a
year.
Thursday or a Saturday. It's packed. This year's a
Mm-hmm.
Thursday. But you know what you will get. Atmosphere will be crazy. I mean, you got people damn near on the field. I mean, it's the
Yes.
environment that you create, man, and it's dope for the kids when you go back and look at it. You know, these kids still come in like, Coach, you remember this play? You remember that? And the crowd and this and that, which I don't now because it's been coaching so long. Kind of, I forget most of those now. But no,
Uh-huh.
it's huge. It's huge for both programs, and also just shining the light on just this area. We only 10 minutes away from each other.
I know.
You know what I mean? When you look at most other areas, it's like these two schools will be combined, depending on if you're in Georgia or
Uh-huh.
Texas. But the
Hmm.
talent that came out of these two schools is crazy, man. It's crazy.
You know what's funny? If they did ever do that, that happened one year. I'm older than you. When they shut down Wilson and Manor, and everybody went to Norcom, and they had David Clark and those guys. They went 14-0. They beat us in the regionals 14-0, and they were loaded. They had so many players. If they ever combine Varina and Holland Springs, that would be insane. Then they have to figure out who's the head coach, you or LJ. How's that work? It'd be like remember the Titans with two head coaches. But Coach. Speaking of coaches, man, I feel like just being a guy that coached here and there. Myself with AAU basketball, I've coached youth travel football, I've coached high school football in 2008 when I was up here at Parkview. I learned very quickly in my post grad years. Being a former player, then I was coaching for a short period of time. The coaching fraternity, the fans sometimes paint it out as this thing where you guys are like, yo, it's East Coast versus West Coast. But it's not really like that. You guys like go to coaching clinics, you guys have mutual respect. Who are some guys that you have, even though y'all might not eat dinner together or hang out all the time, but when you see him, it's all love. When you even from a distance, you're like, hey man, that guy right there is a hell of a coach. I respect his movement. You mentioned Blunt, but who are some other guys on the high school level, public or private, that you check for, that you have a lot of respect for? I know one year y'all played Daryl Overton and those guys.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
for sure.
a game. Yeah. So are there any guys like that you check for,
I
that
mean,
you respect?
I would definitely say Overton. I would say the coach for Moore and what they doing. We played him in
Mm-hmm.
2019. Don't really know him. Me and Mike Privet, we social media, we may talk or whatever the case may be. Um, Powhatan, I don't even know who the OC was. The year we won the state championship, man, they had us on the ropes. That guy was
Mm.
dialing it up. He was dialing it up, man. So definitely nothing but respect from what I saw from what they did and who they had and how they had their kids playing. Um, College Springs, of course. Um, Trying to think of a lot of. See,
It's
man,
so
I kind of
many.
be in my own.
No,
Yeah,
no,
it's
no. It's
so
all good. You name
I
enough.
kind
You
of be,
name enough.
and I kind of be in my own bubble, man. Just I got so much going on to where I be focused on what I'm doing. But when we talking as a staff, I definitely be like, hey man, they know what they're doing. This team disciplined, they're well coached or whatever the case may be. And there's a lot of teams that I saw in like 707, like I seen the green ones at ODU,
Yep.
Austin Smith, nothing but respect. And some of these guys, man, I called when I got the head coaching job. Being married, I'm a girl that, my girls love football. They've been around it. So trying to balance work and life and coaching, I asked Coach Johnson, man, how you do it? You know what I mean? I know his
Mm.
son's. So I'm not a person that's scared to ask somebody, hey man, how you doing it? You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? I know my strengths from my weakness. So even when I'm picking the staff and I know who I need to be around me, hey, I'm trying to get people that I ain't strong at. I'm gonna get this person that's strong. And I'm fine with that. If
Mm.
I'm one of the people. I ain't had to be the head coach either. Like I don't have to be in the forefront. I can do everything
Mm.
in the back, and I'm cool with that. As long as we winning together, I'm fine.
Yeah, man, your humility is remarkable because some of these guys, man, they win one game, and I see them all over social media. I'm like, man, you ain't even won districts.
Hey, see, you
Uh,
know what I say about that when people start talking? They ain't win as a player. Some of them ain't winning in life, and it's cool. You know what I mean?
yep, yep.
I just always kind of been like that though, man. Like I'm kind of low key, chill at the end of the day, but I can get there, and when I get there, I'm there.
I love it. Coach, speaking of social media, one thing I do want to ask you about this, and again, I mentioned how I'm older than you, but you were right behind me. Social media, since you and I played, has really taken on a life of its own. You have kids constantly posting, blessed to receive an offer. There's games being canceled because of social media concerns, with the Mari Phoebus beef that happened online. There's a lot of talk now. Kids are getting caught up. You're in 804. And, I'm very familiar with that. A lot of my friends and family went to VCU. I spent a lot of time in Richmond. My sister went there. One of my best friends went there. I'm very familiar with 804 and social media in general. Both, you and I use it for different reasons, but we use it for the right reasons. But kids now, respectfully, and you know this to be true because we both work in mental health, I try to tell the OGs, man, these kids are dealing with way more than we can ever imagine.
For
There's
sure.
there's so many pressures, the comparisons, the social media distractions, TikTok, the trends. You don't know what to believe and what's real. How do you and your staff make sure they understand their purpose and not get caught up in the social media distractions, the beef, the girls? It is a lot to deal with. And I feel like that's why I advocate for you guys to be paid more, because you are one day a therapist, one day a priest, a father figure, a preacher, the next day an uncle. You're in IEP meetings. You got to go to court because sometimes because a kid got caught up, hotel party fights.
Yep.
There's a lot that goes on outside the season. So how do you keep your kids not protected, but understanding and knowing their worth and not getting caught up?
Man, that's the first conversation we have when we have our parent meeting. I made it had like 5 already. It's talking about social media, being mindful what you posting. We shouldn't have a spam page. You got a spam page, we might just kick you off the team. It's gonna be a punishment behind everything. Cause the spam page can be crazy. You know what I mean? And these kids don't realize, and families, like, we see everything and we will end up finding out at the end of the day. And you don't want to mess up your opportunities going to college or a job or whatever the case may be. Because the same way we looking at it, these college coaches looking at it, these jobs are looking at it. So we try to monitor that, and we try to make sure our parents understand the importance that, hey man, our student athletes can't be on there. If I ain't on there cussing, if I ain't doing certain things, they damn sure should do it. And I take care of myself. So that's kind of how we monitor it. Do we get it right all the time? No, but if we know something, we own it as soon as possible. Like, it's been times to where I done got a video and it's weapons or whatever the case may be. You know what I do? I send it right to that parent. Hey, don't say nothing to me when I can't get this kid in college or in a job or whatever. This is why. There's nothing I can do with this. So I send it directly to him. I'm talking to him. I got a relationship with most of my parents. We had a big cookout after our last day of practice before school started because I want them to be able to come to me and I want to be able to come to them, because we can't do this and be successful without our parents involved. Like you said, that village, I'm big on that. So that's one thing we try to do: keep an open line of communication. We got a band apps where we communicate with everything. And we praying. We try to pray every day. We're trying to go to church today, but I had to work earlier. So we're just trying to do things together to have our kids in the right mindset. We about to do every third Sunday. We was doing like a barbershop talk where we talk about mental health. Yeah. So we about to start that back up. Like I said, it's big in the football. Like, hey, what's going on in your household? What's going on? Where your mind at? We talked about girls the other day. So when we come in here now, I'm having all type of discussions outside of just being X and O's and who we play. Because at the end of the day, if you ain't locked in and you got other things going on, I can't get the best you. Even with me as a coach, if I got things going on, whether me and my wife or my coaching staff or whatever the case may be, I can't be the best coach for our kids. So, like I told them, the same thing I'm empowering y'all, I'm empowering myself, and I'm using it myself. You know what I mean? I got my own counselor. I got my own therapist that I go talk to, because we gonna have our days and our moments or whatever, but that's learning how to deal with adversity. So having that open line of communication is what we try to do.
Yeah, I think that's remarkable and that's needed. And I ask that question on purpose with a lot of my coaches or even leaders of the cities and the counties they live in, because sometimes we get stuck in our own journey and forget that this is a new challenge going on with a lot of young people we deal with. And, for athletes, a lot of guys I've interviewed over the last 6 years that got to the professional collegiate level or their career ended abruptly, even if it ends on your own terms, you still go through a transitional period where a lot of times you're depressed. You're trying to find out that new chapter. So you throw social media in the mix where people are comparing themselves to others and all the different distractions. I'm glad you guys are doing that platform down there at Varina, because they need that, man. They need that.
Even from that, We had several kids want to leave every year because of that. Oh, I see such and
Mm-hmm.
such get offered and this and that. I'm like, it's not a real offer, y'all.
Yep.
Everything,
Oh.
hey, listen, man. What I don't do is throw other people, programs, student athletes out there. I'm just talk to our kids. But I'm like, hey, if you really take a closer look and they saying they got this and that, but when they graduate, they going to, I don't know, none of them big schools.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's really
Mm-hmm.
bringing that back up because at the end of the day, I feel like we
Mm-hmm.
talking about kid opposed to the program. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So our kids understand it because we having these conversations. And one of our kids that verbally committed, Braylon Hood, he spoke about that. He was like, "Man, I was ready to leave because you got other coaches in these kids' ears and not being real with them. They only trying to get what they want out of you, and that's for you to come play, and they not being honest with you. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that
Mm-hmm.
at all. And if it's a better
Mm-hmm.
situation somewhere else, we got kids leave every year. I know I see other high school programs complaining and this and that, and this kid left and all that. We have the same thing. No matter what program you at, everybody's going
Yep.
through it. It's on different levels. One year we have five guys. Some of them I put off the team because they broke the rules, and I ain't downgrade them or none of that because they kids at the end of the day. And I'm hoping that what we did would help them learn. They went to other places and did great. Coaches called
Mm-hmm.
me, I gave them the story. I didn't probably go in depth, but let them know like they broke rules or whatever the case may be. We got three kids to go to Huguenot. Everybody deals with the same thing, man. But the one thing about us, man, I'm gonna be honest and upfront with them, whether they gonna want to hear it or not. Everybody ain't going to Division One, especially now how it is. But we can get you in school. If you that
Well,
guy,
yeah, yeah.
you go get it off. You know what I mean? You go have some work.
Having a son that just went recruited, he had 9 or 10 D2 offers, a lot of D1 interest. But I never looked at it from the perspective as a father. When I started going to these meetings, and they're like, "You're a scholarship kid. We're going to pay for everything," and then registered him and put him in Wingate last week. I'm like, "Lord, thank you, because we don't pay anything.
Hey,
That's a scholarship."
what we
Like,
talking about?
I think
Hey,
sometimes, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go
it's
ahead.
social media. Oh man, this guy going to Ole Miss. This guy, listen, man, you going to school for free. Let's add up how much that school costs if it had to come out your
Yes.
pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
these new schools cost more than Division One.
Oh, I know. Again, I'm getting. I guess this is a term. Re-educated. I'm learning because when you're a father, you look at like what I'm paying and having my oldest daughter and going to college, being a senior at ODU. She's paying for it herself and working. So my
Oh
son learned
man,
very quickly.
wow.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just it's an educational thing.
Yes, man. Mine just graduated from ODU last year. Thank the Lord, man. Something told me to do a 529 plan. I started that
Mm,
529 plan when they was probably $500 or $600 a month. If I'm making more money, $500, whatever the case may be, to where my kids was able to go to school off their 529 plan.
so that's something again I didn't know when I had her. I was just like, okay, because I didn't know because I was on scholarship at Tech and I had
Yep.
multiple offers. And then I heard about it, but by then it was too late. But again, these are the things, even if your kid is playing football or soccer or baseball, tell them this. I'm glad you're doing that. I'm
Yeah.
surprised how many coaches don't have a study hall or mental health type component to their program, don't do parent like meetings to talk about options. That's what it kills me when I see these guys on these Facebook groups. I'm like, y'all have all this trash talk. You talking about we this and we that, but most of these kids don't have no resources. And they up there with the popping the bottles and then posting the pictures, and then the season's over and it's January, and they're like, "Hey yo, what I'm gonna do?" And
Mm-hmm.
it's sad. It's sad because they
Sad.
could
Yeah.
anyway. I don't want to get
But
off
so
track, but
so
it's
I'm
relative.
gonna tell you the information, man. So my nonprofit is gonna help all student athletes. It ain't just Varina. It's all student athletes. And this is not, hey, I'm trying to get your kid to come here. I'm trying to help these young men out. Everything
Mm-hmm.
that I didn't know that I saw work, whether it's for my kids or the kids that came through here. I mean, I got kids that call me all the time that I didn't coach, just asking me like, hey, I just want to sit down with you and talk. I heard you got some things going on. Come on, let's go ahead. At the end of the day, man, I'm trying to just empower everybody. Much if I don't know it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna connect you with somebody that do.
Yeah, yeah. No, and thank you for that again. Let's get into the season.
Yeah.
I'm sure people that when I watch this, they're gonna be like, okay, this is great. But what's up with this season? Because right now, keep it a buck with you, you guys are expected. Despite Phoebus being in the same division, having 4 straight, having a historical winning streak on the line, many people I've talked to that work in the media field like me, the Matt Hatfields, a lot of people are like, the team, and I know you can be a prisoner of your expectations, but the team to beat is Varina. Talk about the schedule and what are you guys doing to prepare the kids for that target? Because there's a big target on your back this year. Not that it hasn't been before, but many people feel like with what you have coming back, the talent you have in that locker room, you guys should be, basically the champion, but you got to win it. So how does the season shape out, schedule, and what kind of mindset are you trying to push for the kids to have this year?
One day at a time mindset. Of course, the goal, ultimate goal is December, whatever date that is. But we got to win today. We got to win the next day. We got to stack days. Everybody know what the goal is, so we don't got to keep talking about state championship because that's the standard that we're trying to set, and that's the goal. But let's just win every day. Win on the field, win in the community, win in the classroom. And if we do all those things, the outcome will be what we're looking for. Schedule wise, man, we got a tough schedule. But sorry, I lie to you. William Fleming, we start off with them first. We go out there on Friday. That's a nice little ride.
Yes, Lord.
For travel. Great thing is we don't have school that day, so that's great. Then at the end of the day, we got Maury the following week. 3 state champions, nothing but respect on what they doing. They got athletes, they got the coaching, they got everything. So that's gonna be a game to where we really go see what we made of.
Hey, listen, and listen, no pressure. But Lee was on a live the other night, and he put pressure on y'all. That is the game of the year right now. No disrespect to any other coach and program I interview. Right now, it's early in the season. I know you're gonna finish previewing the rest of the schedule, but that game right there, I appreciate both you and Coach OK and the guys at Moring for getting that done. That is going to be a must-see game.
It's only right. Why? I mean, for me, I'd rather take our kids through this regular season than the playoff. It don't make sense. So if you can schedule these type of games, one, it helps you're gonna know who your kids are early. From a recruiting standpoint, if your kids balling against other kids that got these offers and other programs that respect it, it's just gonna help out recruiting. You know what I mean? So why not? I mean, why not? So we're looking forward to that as well. We got IC Nocum after that. We come down, go down there. Hermitage, which is a program that they just always put us in dogfights, and they got a lot of returners, seniors. Clark, one of the highly recruited kids around here that's going to Michigan. Of course we got we got Holly Springs. Down the line we got Grimsley, North Carolina, #1 quarterback in the country. I just watched him, and I'm a person that try to focus on who we got, what's coming, but I also want to see what somebody is because I do some of the things that we may have to work on now. Posted down the road. I mean, they just won in the opener against West Charlotte. In overtime. I mean, went 16-0. Big. I mean, that's probably one of the biggest things we can see all year, hands down. I mean, we put our schedule together to be battle tested before the playoffs come. Nobody's gonna hand us anything. You know what I mean? We still got the Huguenots that we, probably will end up seeing every year in the playoffs. You got Louisa with the #1 running back in the country. That's in 4 now. You got Dinwiddie. I mean, they lost.
God, bless it.
But the mindset that Billy installed in them kids, they will give you everything that they got. And that's another coach that I respect too, Billy Mills and Woody.
Yes.
I know. Yes. So I forgot about him, but that's nothing but respect and what he do with his kids as well. So man, our schedule was fit for us to be ready for the playoffs. The biggest thing out of that, you want to be healthy. Being in 4, you may see on the sidelines where we may have 50 kids dressed. Some of them kids are JV kids, but number wise, you just want to be healthy. And honestly, what we got that returned and some of the kids that came in, that moved into the area, man, we should be in December. And that ain't no cocky or none of that. We should be. But some things got to go right through that road. And you just got to stay disciplined, stay humble, and stay hungry. Block out all the noise, like you said, social media or whatever the case may be. And just stay focused on what the goal is.
Yeah, that Dinwiddie program, I saw them on, I believe, with Lee's podcast, and I really, really love what they're about. Another coach I like to connect with soon. I'm a fan of people that are leaders. I don't care if you work in social work or you at a homeless shelter or you work in the government. If you a leader and you really care and you trying to change lives, it means so much to me. By the way, I meant to ask you about this earlier. Side note, I think also what prepared you. I didn't realize you were a Fuma guy. Forgot that. My son
Oh
did a
yeah,
post. My son did a post grad year this last year at Fuma. Had to cut his dreads and all of that. And he used to call from the
yep.
barrack phone. He's like, "Yo, Dad, man, this ain't no joke, bro." He was like, I feel like I'm locked up. I said, "You are not locked up." He was like, "Man, you don't even know." I said, "I
Uh,
do know." I said, "My boy Keenan Carter went there. Marcus Hagan. I know all about Fuma. I didn't have to go. He went because, as you know, with basketball and football and other big time sports, the portal is crazy. It changed recruiting. And I just felt like a prep year would just do him service academically, mentally, and physically. Just having
yeah.
that extra year to get stronger. But he did. He came back from Fuma and his
Oh
tank
yeah,
tops, his
man.
fitness.
Listen, I was
Yeah.
so one thing I should have did while I was in high school, I should have put the basketball down. By probably my sophomore year, should have just stayed in the weight room and ran track. That's it.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
But when I went to Fort Union, I went from 175 to 200.
Yep. That's crazy, but I know.
175 to 200. And see, they spoiled now. They don't even realize it. They ain't had to stay the whole year. We had to stay the whole year.
Yeah. I told him that. He was like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, back in the day, they were there the whole year." Because the
Yep.
football team, he got cool with some of those guys. And as soon as the season ended, they were like, "All right," they were
Yep.
going.
Yep. So they spoiled now, man. You know, it's a different generation of kids now too. But yeah,
Yeah.
well, I mean, of course, when we was there, it was the worst. We felt like it was the worst, but we still got a lot of us still talk now to this day. We got great relationships. When you look at it, we laugh about all the times when we was there, but it was a great experience. Discipline, which stuff like that, I really never had a problem with. I never really got in trouble, none of that type of stuff, or whatever the case would be. Now, did we do things that we just didn't quit? For sure, I was a kid at the end of the day. But 90-degree angle on your bed, you shining your shoes and all that. I ain't had no problem. I ain't had no demerits when I was there. I'm out the way, just doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So no, it won't bad. Me and Daryl Blackstar talk all the time. He had William Mary, played at UVA,
Yeah.
played
Yeah.
that's my guy. And we still trip to this day.
He was an animal too. I forgot he went there. He's there with my boy Keenan Carter and Mike London and man. They got and Brian Randall.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and this is the thing I try to tell people, and you know this. A head coach, his staff is critical. So you talk about Mike London, who's won a national championship when he was at the University of Richmond. You see what he did at Howard. Now he's at William Mary. He's got an all-star staff.
Got
You
it.
look at what you got. You look at LJ, Maury. People took about Priv, and they, because he's outspoken, he's talking trash, but the guy knows the game,
He knows.
and Maury has the staff. It's overshadowed because of his persona and how he trolls and all of that. But it's mind games because
Yeah.
you being an athlete, but he
Yeah.
knows the game. I enjoy him when he's not doing all the other stuff. He's funny, but when he's breaking down the game, I've been on a live with him before, and we were talking about recapping some games with Lee and all those guys, and he knows the game, and the staff is critical, man. Do you talk to some of your kids about prepping as an option, places like Fuma
Yeah,
and
for
things
those
like that?
that we feel like will benefit. Yeah, for sure, we do.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
that's
we
good.
like
Okay,
we listen. Prep, JUCO, whatever. We feel like it's gonna really help that student athlete out, and financially it can be done. Yeah, we do. So we got relationships with pretty much every school or program that is. So yeah,
how's your relationship with a lot of colleges, not just in Virginia, but throughout the ACC, Big Ten, HBCUs? You have that that those numbers you
that's
can
great.
call.
Yeah. I mean, text message numbers. I try to catch a game. It's kind of hard because we practicing on Saturday. But relationship is good. And my nephew's in the building, so I don't work in the building, but I come. My schedule allow me that. So he know the importance of building relationships and stuff. So man, these coaches, and the one thing about me when they come in this building, if they looking for something and we ain't got it, I'm gonna tell them where to go. I'm gonna say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
this school got this dog over here. We play them, or this kid plays over there. You need to go check them out, or whatever.
Oh, thank you for doing that.
So,
Thank
oh
you.
yeah, man, you have to, because when they come here, and they know it's talent here, and they can go to another school, or you giving them some real game on some other kids. That's the relationship. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So, but yeah, I have a great relationship with a lot of coaches, man. I mean, I just, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Do you and I mentioned your staff real quick, your AD. How supportive is your AD and what kind of relationship you guys have?
Man, very supportive. Great. I just spoke to him. We talk on a regular. Um, so man, it since he been over, man,
What's his
his
name?
goal.
His name? What's his
Uh,
name?
Lamont Foster. His
Okay.
vision is bigger than mine, and I ain't never ran across somebody that's vision bigger than mine. So I'm like, oh, this is perfect. From fundraising to trying to get a new field house to trying to get the jumbo screen, just everything. And I'm like, look, we need all of that, and whatever I can do to help, we could do it. We were trying to do an indoor facility. We had one off. We had some players that played in the league that wanted to get back. My other AD, I don't know, why he reach out. I mean, the only thing they can say is no. He's like, well, look, I'm gonna get on it. You know what I mean? Because we really don't have a practice field. Because the field down the bottom is just really bad. So I'm
Mm.
like, well, they were like, we can enclose it and try to get it, and we could, do some turf or whatever. I'm like, well, let's do it. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
it's just, it's a lot of, hoops you got to go through with that. But he's been amazing since he been over here, man. He take care of us. He makes sure we got the best things that possible. Make sure we got new helmets, new equipment, just everything. He really take care of us.
That's great, man. I always feel like the great programs always have a active and mindful
And
and
our
knowledgeable
principal,
AD.
and our
Yeah,
principal,
principal
yeah, our
too,
principal.
principal and AD.
Big part of what's going on around here. Her daughter goes here. She lives in the community. I think anytime you got people that's high up admin that live in the area, they gonna want to make sure that our area is straight. She's a big supporter. We try to make sure that we got some new gear. I said, man, I told my nephew, man, see what size she need, man. We're gonna make sure she's straight as well.
Absolutely, man. I love it. Well, look, Coach, this has been a lot of fun. It has because I really feel like you are changing lives. Now I feel like I know you are. And more importantly, after we're done recording here, definitely send me some of the information. I'm going to make sure I promote it as well as support it. If there's an event coming on or coming up, I'll try to get down there. I am always trying to change lives and empower others. Speaking of that, real quickly, I like to end the show with allowing my guests to share their final thoughts. Um, Football and basketball and your journey has put you in a position to lead others. You have wisdom and life lessons you gained throughout your journey. You're big on building relationships and helping others achieve their goals and their dreams, as well as overcoming adversity. That does not come without a gift from God. You've been given a gift that people believe in you and respect you, and you've been able to cultivate that gift throughout not just the football program, but kids you meet in the community. With that being said, what message do you want to end this show with in regards to the life lessons you learned to help kids and other people, even adults, stay on their path and stay focused? Because we didn't dive into it today, but one day we will. You had some things you had to overcome, some challenges that you didn't always post on social media, but that, you had some dark days just like I did. And you've overcome that. What life lesson or gem do you want to pass on as we wrap this thing up today?
Man, you are who you be around. So you need to be around like-minded individuals. This parents, this is student athletes, this everybody. So I find myself when I'm around the right people that got the same goals, marriage, family, entrepreneurship, and just being a good person, man of God, you're going to be successful in life. It may not always be financials or whatever the case may be, but that will come. But you're gonna live a great life. So that's what we preach to our kids, to our families, man. This you got to be around other student athletes that's on the same journey that you. Whether it's you want to go work, whether it's you want to go to college, you want to be the best football player, and if you do that, your success rate is gonna be higher than most.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it. And I'm really loving your movement, man. I'm so glad we got connected. I knew who you were. I seen you on different platforms, but you will not be, this will not be your last time on this show, and this will not be our last time talking.
For
Real
sure.
quick, how can people follow Varina, whether, watching game, if they're not in the area? How can we follow your movement? Let us know your social media platforms. How can we find, I know you can go to, on Google and find the football schedule, but How can
Mm.
people keep up, and if they want to donate to your program, or they want to follow it and support it, how can people get a hold of that?
One, they can contact me directly or email. I'm look, my number out there, 804-551-4542. Email is malewis@henrico.k12.va.us. Instagram, Varina page is just Varina Football. And that's to be the best way. I'm gonna also send you our app. We got our school just got an app now. I can share that with you. So I
Oh,
don't know, share that when
yes,
you post it
yeah,
as well.
send that, yes,
So
send that,
our app
yes.
has everything from our team store and everything else, donations and stuff. So that's the best way. Just contact me directly, or you can get on the app.
Well, there you have it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And thank you, Coach, for jumping on. Appreciate your patience, man. I've been fighting back this cold and, back to school, having 3 kids, make sure everybody's straight. I speak on behalf of everybody that's played for you or know you personally and professionally. We say thank you. You guys don't make enough money, but you don't care about that. You're still doing what you're doing. And most importantly, man, we appreciate the stuff you're doing on and off the field. I'm Dwight Vick, host and now owner and founder of Vicktory Life. On behalf of everybody part of the Vicktory Life movement, thank you for watching. For those who just knowing about this movement, subscribe to our channel so you can see great interviews and platforms like this one with Coach Marcus Lewis. Coach, I appreciate you, and to everybody watching, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, make sure you have a positive impact and you leave a great legacy. Once again, salute
Appreciate that.
everybody. Have a great, yes, thank you.